Well, I guess I don't know if I can set this up somewhere here. Not bad. Can't ensure that it's not going to fall, but is it still recording? I believe so. So, first step to getting this box in was, or is, I lifted it up through here, placed it on the frame to hold it, and I put one of these bolts in. And hold on a second, let me go get another bolt to show you what it looks like. Stay there. Sure you're not going to go anywhere. So, I got this bolt here. These are the ones that go into the, there's 3 in this one. This box belongs to this is a 1979 F150 4x4. And they have the 250s. They have, this one here has 3 bolts. I can't really show you the other side because the camera's not going there, but it just kind of goes in there. The F250 has another bolt right here, and then there's the 2-wheel drive. There is more slimmer unit with 2 bolts as well, 3 bolts in that one. This one here, you can see the characteristics of the box. It has one here, if you take note of that, and then on this side, I can't show you, but the bolts are kind of offset. This one will stick out. This bolt here will stick out a little closer to the spring perch. And this bolt here will be a little closer to this side. So they're kind of offset a little bit. There's a little bump that bumps out. This is for the 4x4 150 half ton. Anyways, let me grab my wrench here. And we're going to just snug it up. I'm not going to tighten it too much. Not going to. One there. Tire's in the way. I'm going to have to get a ratchet. So we'll just snug it up. I'm just going to pause for a minute because I want to make sure the camera doesn't fall down. There. Snug her up. I'll torque it down to what it needs to be after. This is just, I'm putting it on. I don't want to leave it on the bench. There's really no sense to have it on the bench because it's not like I can hook up the lines on the bench. They got to be hooked up while it's on the vehicle. So I can look at it all day and it's not going to get the job done. So I don't know if you can see it's got a spline guard on here, rubber from the so you can see the brand new. That's nice. And I'll just leave it on there just in case I hit it or something until I'm ready. And I'll show you the bolts for that or not. Oh, jeez. Oh, tight. The rod is tiny. Nice brand new, comes with a brand new huge nut. Stainless, or not stainless, zinc coated. Huge lock washer, that's important. We'll just put that there so I don't lose it. And the pitman arm I have, it's painted and it's still not dry, so I don't want to try to put it on until it's pretty much dry, or dry all the way. Otherwise it'll just smear off, so probably end up chipping it when I put it on anyways, but until then I'll end up touching it up. So my next thing will be to get the rag joint on, and which is up here. I'll have to do it from the top because you can't really get it from down here. Put the rag joint on and put the steering shaft back in. Make sure everything's kind of somewhat aligned. Hopefully when I got the box, I couldn't find any information online, but I'm hoping that when I put my pitman gear on, so when you put these on, they have to face straight forward, and then you'll put the steering knuckle in the pitman arm. Now what I'm hoping is that when I put it in, this is from the factory when they built it, is at the halfway marker, 50% of your rotation inside the thing. Otherwise, then I'm going to have to rotate it to the next set of grooves, because you can only put the pitman arm on 4 different ways, because they have 7 teeth in between square notches on this particular box, so it can only go on 4 different ways. And I'm hoping that they were being nice, if you will, or if it's perfectly lined up for that, which I would imagine that they would be intelligent enough to do so. I would hope so. And if it's not, then I have to put the steering shaft on and rotate it until it's at the 50%. Otherwise, when I go to steer the wheel, I'll only be able to steer a tiny bit, and then it'll stop. Because of the way the gear is in the box. At least that's how I'm envisioning it. I'm pretty sure I'm right. So let's pause the video, and then I'm going to take you up to see if that rag. I'm just mocking it up right now. I'm not actually. Okay, continuing on. This is probably the best angle I can get. As far as lighting goes, let's see if I can get the better lighting here. That looks like. This is not easy. Alright, I guess. I guess it's okay. Hold on a sec. Here's the rag joint. Now I'm going to have an issue with this. I know I will. Come on. Stupid light. There's a rubber guard on it, and we can't get it off. Try not to. Come on. Oh. Definitely going to protect the spline with that thing on. Holy cow. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Rubber protector. So this thing goes on here like so. And then we got to get the steering wheel lined up. Now that might be a little bit of an issue. I got to figure this thing out still yet. I'm just giving you guys an idea. That'll go on. And then the steering shaft, which is an issue. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I might have to take this steering shaft off because there's a bolt here that broke when I was trying to clean it up, and then the only way I'm able to put this rag joint on with this is either 1, move the steering wheel back, 2, move the gearbox back, loosen it up, and then put this on, and then 3, get this bolt fixed. So that's what I'm going to do. Once you get the bolt fixed, then you can slide this thing back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I don't know if you can see it way up there by the firewall or not. Let me see. Position that camera a little bit. I'm just going to lift the camera for a second. There's a bolt there. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to see if I can slide the shaft up further so I can clear the bolts or maybe I can move them back, I don't know. By the looks of it, this is a pretty precise fit, so I'm gonna have to do it the right way. I'm gonna have to fix that properly. So I put the camera back. So well, it's not wiggling. So I have to get this bolt taken out of the shaft so I can move it. I was looking into a new unit, but they want like $300 for that shaft, and I just can't do it right now. It's just too much. Not at this stage, not right now. So I'll have to make do with this one until I can until I want to part with the money for a shaft, I guess. But I think I might even be able to fix this one, to be honest with you. I'm going to try to. I didn't really put too much time into it before, so I'm going to see if I can grind that section down where the bolt broke and put a nut on the end, and I'll weld it and see if I can tap it out, or I'll just drill it out and tap a new hole. And then this thing should be able to move somewhat. There's that plan. The splines. Anyways, yeah, that's that. So there's no sense of going any further until I tackle that. I'll drag it out another weekend. I don't know. take the right joint off. Put the rubber connector back on, just so I don't damage it in the meantime. It's got the little white caps on the lines. I got a brand new high pressure line for that. I redid the pump assembly. I'll show you that. I took the brackets off the 300 and cleaned them all up. I'm going to put the video on pause and I'm going to take you over to the pump. Give me a sec. Alright, some papers out of the way. Good for TV. Wire. So there's the pump. There's the bracket I told you about. This is my new high pressure line for the power steering pump. This is again for a 1979 Ford F-150 4x4 high pressure line. There's a little O-ring there that I'll have to put it on this end. There's a little see a little divot there. A little O-ring will go on that little divot, and this side will go into the pump. That will go into under there, a little hole there. That's for the high pressure. And this simple line right here, that's the return line. Just a non-pressure. You don't have to put a pressure hose on it. Just a regular hose that can take fluid. Which brings us to the next conversation: is what fluid I've decided to put in this. And had a lot of problems figuring out which one. A lot of mixed reviews online on which fluids to put in these pumps and steering rack. I figured because I'm changing the rack, the gearbox, and the pump, I better put in a suitable fluid to not to accommodate them. Because back in the day, Ford in the 70s trucks, they called for. A lot of them called for straight type F fluid. From what I've researched, it's the reason why they have type F is it's a low detergent hydraulic fluid, unlike transmission ATF or Mercon. So they want a lower detergent and fluid for the units. That's one of the reasons. The other is something to do with the viscosity, but I don't want to get into that. Now, so I went to the store. I ended up going to Canadian Tire and bought this ATF Type F. I thought to myself, well, if I put this ATF Type F in, sure, it's good for the pump, but what about the unit that I bought, the gearbox? The gearbox it's not a remanufactured gearbox from the 70s. It's a brand spanking new unit made from today's technology, or whatever you want to call it, right? So I was very hesitant to even put Type F in it. I just wasn't sure if that was the right one for it. I think I care more about the gearbox than I do about a $75 pump, remanufactured pump. So this I took it off the table. I don't know what I'm going to do with this now. Took it off the table. So we'll put that aside. I'm not getting paid for this either, before you even think that. Then I went to the Ford dealership. I told them about my situation with the ATF, and they said they don't make Type F. They make Mercon. This is Mercon V. So I brought that home. Then I started researching. I'm like, it's not good for the pumps. It'll make it whine. And I started researching backwards compatibilities with the V, and I couldn't find too much information on that. Some people say don't use it, use ATF. And I'm just like, I'm getting frustrated. I've never had an issue with this with fluids. And then, let's see, what else here? It's getting ridiculous, yeah. What was my other? Regular type F, which brings us to this. Red line. Now, I am kind of against synthetics. Believe it or not, I'm one of those guys that I don't really like synthetic. It's good. I'm a strong believer that if you just use regular conventional oil and you change it way before you're supposed to, it's going to be just fine. And it's going to work just as good as synthetic, if not better, or equivalent. But this right here is a really good synthetic fluid that, if you read, and I've researched this online, it, what did it say here? It's recommended for power steering applications. Substitute for GM Dextron, Ford Mercon Type F, and other types. So, and aside from being an ATF transmission fluid, this is a power steering fluid for itself. So I felt really safe putting. I feel really confident and very safe about this. Plus, I've read nothing but really good reviews on this stuff. I've never used it yet, so I can't say 100%, but it's the only thing I got to go with. So I'm going to use this because I trust this in my pump. I'm pretty sure the synthetic will be great for the pump, and pretty sure it would be great for the steering box, as the steering box manufacturer told me that just use a regular power steering fluid, and I believe this is better than the regular. So yeah, that's sorry for the rambling, guys, but this is what I've decided to go with after all that. And the other thing too is this has a really great tolerance for high heat. One, because it's synthetic. Two, is redline. So yeah, I'm going to use this, and hopefully that does justice for the box, which I'm sure it will. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. I'm going to have the lines hooked up, and we'll fire up and see how she runs. Okay, thank you.